Hi everyone, time for another video because, I just have a message that I want to just share with you, and I might have to pause it in between because I've been waiting for the mailman to arrive for over 2 hours, and he's late. He should have been there, but with a crystal, I bought a crystal, and I'm waiting for it. It was supposed to arrive yesterday, and then it was delayed, and now it's gonna come today. It was and now the mailman is late. I don't know why, because I'm so eager, and from what I can feel, the crystal really wants to be with me as well, and it's like ah. But anyhow, the message. It's actually about me noticing more and more how what I do, when everything I stand for, which is to do with helping women become empowered, tap into their feminine energies, and because for that, in order to get there, also help them to work on self-love, self-confidence, and so on. That's what all my courses and everything I do is about. And a lot of what I talk about in my private life has to do with that as well. It's just me, It's not something I do. It's what I am. It's really what I am, and I'm beginning to notice that is getting more. Well, how do I explain that? Um, in my private life, I'm in contact with family, friends, etc. It begins to come up more now as well. People are beginning to realize what I do and what I know, what I offer, and so for me there was never really a divide in there anyway. But it's now, well, for other people, apparently there was still a divide that they didn't see me that way just yet. That for them I was just like a friend or a mother or a daughter or a colleague or whatever, just a different role. And I'm beginning to notice of late that actually it's now beginning to really merge together. And I love that. I really like that because it's who I am, right? And it's who I want to be as well. I do not. Well, of course, you play different roles at certain times. I am a mother and I am a daughter, etc., etc. But if within all these roles there is still space for me to be me, yeah, I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. That people, it happens more often now that people in my private life also turn to me to for advice, or that the subject just comes up, and yeah, that's just great. And well, I wanted to give you just an example as well, that I think that a lot of women, often it has to do with that, how women communicate in relationship with a man, in contact with a man. And I think one of the most common things that happens a lot is that at some point, if you are in some sort of relationship with a man and things are not working out all that well, not the way you had thought it was going to work out, and then usually in retrospect, had you paid attention, you would have picked up the red flags. Then you can tell that the signs were already there. But yeah, the way we are wired, we just choose to ignore these things, and then we think like, well, it's gonna change, and because maybe this is not so good, but this, that, and the other is all wonderful. It's all great, and So yeah, there's another long story. I didn't want to go there. In any case, I think often women end up in a situation where a connection, a budding relationship, or an existing relationship with a man, when it goes wrong, so to speak, and the man basically tells us that maybe it's over, or that he doesn't really feel it's a relationship, or that he doesn't really feel it for you. And then what we do is we start arguing. We start trying to convince that man, yes, but but this is XYZ, we have that and we share that and that's so good. And you know, you know what I mean? I do hope you know what I mean. We tend to do that, and because we get insecure. We do not want to lose that man. We do not want to lose the things that are good. And often I think that in such a situation when that happens, there's plenty of stuff in that connection that we do not like. And I think often we already know that something isn't right and that it's actually not exactly how we want a connection with a man to be. But we're just afraid to lose that man, to be alone again, or to we feel rejected as well, of course, right? If you still have problems with low self-esteem, then you likely feel not good enough, and maybe it happened to you a number of times before, so then it's like, oh God, not again. See, I really am not good enough. No one wants me. All that stuff, and I think that's the reason why we start to argue with a guy, start to try to make him change his mind, and that is just not going to work. It might work. You can be very strong if you are a very powerful communicator in that way. You might actually overwhelm him to the extent that he's like, okay. He might even for a moment think like, well, maybe she has got a point. And then for a few years, a few weeks, days, weeks, maybe months, you continue with that connection. But something isn't right. If you have to convince a man to stay with you, and if he then, it's not right. It just isn't right. Because that will leave you, you know that you have talked him into staying with you if you succeeded at it, right? Then you know that you talked him into it, that you convinced him. And you know as well, deep down, even if you do not want to admit to it, that the man actually should want to stay with you without needing to be convinced by you. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. And you know that as well. And how glorious would it feel if a man actually did choose to stay with you, to be with you, because he wants to, and not because you talked him into it. Because if you succeed at talking him into it, it's not going to work out in the end. It will go wrong. It might take years, sometimes even, but it will go wrong. Because there's no heart-to-heart connection. You can't make a man stay with you. You can't make a relationship work from talking. And, you want this heart-to-heart connection where both parties choose to stay together. Not just one party overwhelming the other and talking him into it. That's not going to work out, and it's not going to make you happy either. You will likely know that too. In the back of your mind, you will know that, and you will start walking on eggshells because you know that the man didn't really choose to stay with you, stay with you, and then you're going to walk on eggshells. Then you're going to likely end up pleasing, over-functioning and pleasing and pleasing and pleasing. So that he does stay with you. Prove to him that, you two do have a wonderful connection. Why am I telling you all this? I'm just giving an example, as one that I think most women have gone through at some point in time. The thing is, it doesn't have to come to that unless you really are not a match. But these things often do happen in connection between a man and a woman. When it shouldn't have to happen, I don't think in many cases. It's just because you don't communicate the right way with a man. And a man falls for you for who you are, not for what you do. And that's also another thing that women often tend to forget. We think we have to do all kinds of everything, be beautiful and pretty and dress up and cook for him and please him and all that stuff. But actually, a man will not fall in love with you for what you do. He can't. The only way a man can fall for you is for who you are. And communication is a very important part of that, because the way you communicate also shows yourself with other people, how you feel about yourself. Someone who is confident, who loves themselves, respects themselves, validates themselves, communicates completely differently from someone who is, well, not feeling good enough, not confident, not really empowered. Completely, totally different way of communicating. So communication is so unbelievably important. And I do believe that oftentimes a breakup could have been avoided if there was healthy communication. And oftentimes it's the woman who gets it wrong. And why is that? We live in a mostly masculine society, and meaning we have been reared that way as women as well, and we have also been reared to communicate that way, the masculine way. So for men, in a way, that's okay. Doesn't mean to say that they can't learn anything, right? That they always get it right, not at all. But we have never been taught to communicate the feminine way, which is what actually is needed to have that click between a man and a woman. Otherwise, it's two men communicating. You're in a physical body, a female physical body, and you may look like a woman, but if you start communicating the masculine way, because that's how we all have been reared, then you basically end up with two people communicating the masculine way. That doesn't work. You need yin and yang, so you get that. And in communication, you need that as well. And if you both communicate the yang way, well, then you get that. That doesn't click together. It doesn't work. It will go like that at some point. That's why this is so vitally important. And because you want this, then it clicks together, and that's what you want. Really, truly connect. It fits, right? It like yin and yang. So yeah, that's why I wanted to share that with you. That's why I also come up with an example I think that many women can relate to as well. And why? The reason why is because this is so bloody important. If you want to be able to have a happy, healthy relationship that's gonna last, work on an interdependent relationship where two people stand next to one another and not be needy, clingy, etc., etc. Everything has to do with communication. It's unbelievable. And I am very passionate about that because I have applied this myself as well. I've learned the feminine way of communicating myself. And it feels so good. It really does feel so good. And I didn't notice what kind of changes it brought into my life. It's quite phenomenal. And sometimes I slip into masculine communication as well. I mean, we live in a masculine society still, so that happens. But at least I know how to get into the feminine way and feminine energy and the feminine communication. So I can change that. And I do pay attention to that. I do heed that because it feels so much better. And the way you interact with people is so much better. And the way you can have a relationship, a connection with a man is so much better. And men will feel that too. All right. So and if you want that, if you are on your path to developing as a woman and you want a bit more help, a bit more guidance, I mean, I do that as well sometimes, none of us have invented the wheel. And you have to just know when you need someone else to guide you to the next level, the next step, that you need at this point in life. If you feel you need that right now and you're ready to do that, you're ready to invest in yourself, to work on yourself so you can become the next best version of yourself, really, right? More in touch with your femininity and ready to manifest a glorious relationship or bring about a change in your relationship, by all means check my links underneath. It's in my profile, by the way. The link to my website. I am offering a course that starts September 10th on communication. Thank you for watching. Bye. I thought the mailman had arrived and I thought I told you everything, but I still have time. He's not there yet. Sorry about that. So I can tell you the URL to my website, right? It's a lot easier as well for you to find it then. It's sparklingdiva 1111.wordpress.com. sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com. You can find my information there, everything just about me, my blog, just my courses that I'm offering. And the course that is about communication is called High Value Woman, Shortcut to Love 3, because I've done other courses already that also have to do with relationships, so this is the third one. And High Value Woman, well, like I said just now, if you feel you are ready for this and you really want that, you want to take that next step and this deep dive, right? Then go there, sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com. Under courses, in the header, you find that tab courses, High Value Woman, and sign up. All the information is there. And there's my mailman. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you on the inside. Bye.